Hello everybody, welcome back to the footy recap. Liverpool are advancing on a deal for Bradley Barcola from PSG, as we are seeing from Fabrizio Romano again today. Also Arsenal working on a deal for Bruno Guimaraes from Newcastle. Big transfers going on in the four Premier League clubs in this window. And frankly, Liverpool have got to get a move on because they've only signed Munoz. Barcola would be a great addition for them. Arsenal looking like the kind of team that, frankly, have got a stacked team already and a massive amount of good players in their squad. Their second team looking pretty damn good as well. Guimaraes, the kind of Premier League player that you would expect to come in, add experience and quality in the midfield areas. Definitely a very good addition for Arsenal, to be sure. Liverpool clearly looking like they are trying to add some new wingers to replace Salah and his output. They've already got Munoz, Barcola. Obviously, there is a situation where they could also sign another winger, which would bring in 3 new wingers to replace the output of Salah, who was obviously immense for Liverpool. But Liverpool are not the only team that are moving right now, and there are plenty of other ones that are on the move in the Premier League right now. Like I said, Bruno Guimaraes is a really interesting one. Let me take a look at this. Have a little look at Bruno Guimaraes and see what's going on with him. Apparently, he is going to be moving to Arsenal pretty soon, but Newcastle do not want to sell him, according to what we're seeing out of Newcastle. Obviously, Newcastle are in this situation a lot recently where they've got great players that they don't want to sell, but ultimately, if the player wants to leave, they can't really keep a hold of them and keep them hostage. I think Bruno Guimaraes, as we can see, is being subject to offers from Arsenal, and frankly I think he would be an excellent addition for them. It's pretty obvious that Arsenal are just looking to add a few more good squad players into their squad and go again next year for the title. They kind of, I would say, trickled across the line last season, and they could be looking to add a bit more quality across their squad just to add some real, extra grit, determination, and a bit more quality on the ball in their team. They did rely a lot on set pieces and corners last season, as we know very well, to win the league. The reality is, for me, I think Arsenal probably could do with adding a few more technicians into their team. Bruno Guimaraes, a very good all-round player that would probably drop into any team in the Premier League and improve them, make them a lot better. And I think ultimately 50 or 60 million pounds for Guimaraes at the age of 28 or 29 is a pretty good deal. You get good 5 years out of him. And I think at the very least, a good squad player at most. He could go into their team next to Rice, and they would probably be a pretty good double pivot, to be honest. As we know, Arsenal did very well last season with their shenanigans from set pieces. I'm not sure whether or not they'll get away with that kind of football again this season, with so many rule changes that are likely to come in to basically stop people abusing corners and set pieces like they did. Could be one of the reasons that they are adding some more quality on the ball to try and play a bit more expansive football perhaps. But you can't deny that their results last season were good, and they were the best team in the league by a fair distance. Man City were there or thereabouts, but they just couldn't quite get back into the fight. The reality is, obviously, as well, you have to think about it. Next season, there's going to be a very interesting situation where, basically, half the teams in the Premier League are all going to have new managers. They're all going to be playing new styles of football. It's going to be a situation that's going to be very interesting. I think, we've got Tottenham, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United are basically got a new manager in Carrick. He's now the official manager. But then you've also got a host of other teams who have got new managers. Nottingham Forest have got Glasner, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Fulham. There's loads of teams in the Premier League that are all going to have new managers, not to mention the new teams that are going to be in the league as well. There's going to be quite a lot of turnover in the Premier League next season, and it's going to be fascinating to me to see how all of this progresses, really. But as we can see, Arsenal looking to add to their squad and really just add some quality, a few quality players in to the squad and go again next season, as you would expect for Arsenal. Lots and lots of interesting talk coming out from Liverpool, though, regarding Barcola. I personally think that Barcola would probably be the signing of the summer of any team if Liverpool do get this one over the line. Liverpool clearly do need to replace Salah and his output and his influence on the team. Barcola is clearly exactly the kind of profile of player that Iraola really likes, and he's an incredibly influential player when he does play. He seems ridiculously fast. He can take people on. He looks very tricky to deal with in general. And not to mention, he's also very excellent at pressing. And I think Liverpool are looking to add someone like that to their team. They've already bought Munoz, who looks like a decent squad player. But adding Barcola and then maybe even, as we've seen here, Yankuba Minta as well, along with Iraola's style of football, I think they could end up being a very good team next season, in my opinion. This Barcola deal looks as though it's probably going to get done. Fabrizio Romano has been adamant that this deal is going to get done since the start of the summer, really. And he was clearly sitting on some knowledge that we were not privy to, because he kept on going, Liverpool and Barcola, make sure you remember Liverpool, Barcola. Liverpool and Barcola really like each other. Liverpool wanted to buy Barcola last year as a Diaz replacement, but they never got him. They're going for him again. It looks like this time around things are serious. Liverpool could end up spending 120 million quid on him, but ultimately he's going to be very influential for Liverpool. And, when you want to win things, you have to go and buy the players that you want to get the job done. I think Liverpool are the kind of club that have been doing this in recent seasons, and I think Iraola is going to get a lot more out of their team than Slot did last season, let's be fair. Guimaraes, a very interesting one, as we can see here from David. Oh, this is a fake David Ornstein, I do apologise. But there will probably be a David Ornstein soon, because let's face it, Guimaraes to Arsenal is probably a matter of when, not if, at this point. The reality is that Newcastle just cannot hang on to their players. It's very, very sad to be a Newcastle fan, I'm sure, but the reality is there are bigger clubs in the league, and ultimately, these players that give you 4 or 5 good years of their career, and then they want to make a big move to a club, you can't really admonish them for that, really. I would say Guimaraes would fit in at Arsenal really well. He could probably go straight into the team and add a bit more quality on the ball, a bit more grit, determination in that midfield area next to Rice. I think they would be a great foil for each other. It makes a lot of sense, really. As you can see, Arsenal are now bidding for Guimaraes. Apparently, he's available for 50, 60 million quid. As a Liverpool fan, I'm thinking, why don't Liverpool bid for Guimaraes? I know that the homegrown squad spots are an issue for Liverpool right now, but honestly, Guimaraes would be a fantastic addition for any team. And I'm surprised that Arsenal are the only team that are bidding for him, if I'm being completely honest. You can see here, from Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal are talking to Newcastle about Guimaraes every day, waiting for the green light to make the move. As you can see, basically, they're pretty confident that the deal is going to get done. You can see here, Arsenal think they've got their man. Bruno's waiting for the green light to move. The reality is, I think that Arsenal are probably going to be pretty damn good next season. And they might play a little bit more expansively than this season, because they'll have to make up for the fact that I think they're going to get penalised on quite a lot of the stuff they were getting away with last season in terms of the kind of football they were playing from corners, etc. But there are clearly big moves going on for Premier League teams right now. Liverpool, I think, with Barcola would be a much different animal. Barcola is a fantastic, high-quality player. Guimaraes, I think, adds something, quality, experience, a little bit more nous, grit for Arsenal. And plenty of other teams. Morgan Rogers going to Chelsea. Man City buying a few players. I think everyone's strengthening, and with all the new managers, it's going to be fascinating to see what happens next season in regards to where everyone ends up, who flies and who falls. Let me know your thoughts down below. As always, I do appreciate you watching. Like and subscribe and comment, and I will catch you in the next video. Take care.